Friends, we're getting into another shot with me, and you might find these to be a little more frequent as we approach the season. You know what that season is. Holiday releases are springing up because we are approaching September, and that's around the time the brands start to show their sneak peeks, and we've already got a couple. And it's kind of making me a little crazy because I have to plan accordingly. So I just wanted to cover a few items that I have my eye on. Not sure we're going to buy. We're going to have it on the wish list. We're going to talk about it. But I also want to browse some clothes and nail polish and expand on our shop with me categories, not only including beauty, but clothes and nail polish, maybe jewelry, right? So if you have any recommendations as to what we should add to our shop with me window browsing list, then please let me know down below. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Alicia. I love to review beauty. I also love to share lifestyle content in helping with habit modification. And I also like to film these shop with me videos. So if any of that sounds like a plan, please join the club. Consider liking the video and maybe subscribing after you finish watching this one. All right, you knew this already caught my eye. We got more blush, but this is from Ciele, which I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing correctly, but an interesting formula, a talc-free hybrid SPF 45 plus velvety lightweight powder blush that diffuses a radiant flush of color onto the cheeks with a silky blurring finish. I feel a certain way about beauty products that contain SPF in that I don't expect the same level of coverage that a dedicated SPF product delivers, because you need a certain amount, a certain dose of sunscreen so that it actually protects you at the level that is marketed or is listed on the bottle. You have to be specific with the application, and I won't expect this blush to shield me from sunburn or sun damage, right? I think it's just more so extra insurance for that person that likes SPF protection in their makeup, and that's fine, 100%. I just think it necessary to lay down the expectations first and know that maybe you shouldn't rely solely on a blush to provide ample sun protection. But hey, it's nice maybe if you already have the SPF on, you already have a SPF tinted moisturizer, and now you're plopping on the SPF blush. I guess you're set to go. But we got to look at these shades, family. You probably already know what shades I have my eye on here, and definitely has to be Ruddy and Blaze. And Ruddy, according to these shade descriptions, is you see it right here, the rich terracotta shade, which I think an interesting description because it looks a little peachy pink on the photos, although it might look a little more orange tinged on its own and not when applied on the model's faces. But this is kind of the rich burgundy is calling to me, and might not be so terracotta. This is giving, yeah, it's more burgundy, maybe like teetering on a little bit of a wine sensibility. Those are the two that I have on my radar. The other ones look pretty too, and I think it'll be interesting to see how this blush performs given that it does contain SPF. I don't know what type of ingredient that is providing the sun protection, right? Because that could actually impact the color payoff or the color itself. That's why I'm a little curious about it. So we'll definitely swatch that in store first, and maybe I can grab a photo when I'm in Sephora and make a decision then. The Givenchy Holiday collection is already giving. So the fall release was cute. It had the denim with the like Givenchy logo on there. But look at this layout, family. We have what seems to be like a sparkly fabric on the cover for the jars. We're getting a loose powder highlighter, a loose powder, and this palette. When I first saw this, I thought two things actually. I thought, okay, if Natasha Denota's golden and I Need a Nude had a baby, it will be this palette. or this is like a much edited down version of the Byredo fall palette that's upcoming without the reds. Because right off the bat, these are the Showtime shades right here. The gold and that silver, that sterling silver. And then you have the softer iterations here. This caramel brown, what looks to be maybe an espresso satin, this taupe matte, the black, which just based off the photo's texture, maybe a satin and not so much a matte color. So it's an interesting layout. And these lipsticks, these, let's see here, the Le Rouge Velvet Matte Lipstick, which kind of reminds me of Suku's Velvet Fit lipsticks. It has a similar, I think it might be the same-ish diameter for the bullet and the same size for the actual component. The loose powder highlighter, I don't know if I would, listen, at face value, it looks gorgeous, super holiday with the sparkly cap, and you got the gold and silver. Oh, we got a closer look here. Yeah, that black is definitely sparkly arcly. It looks to have like silver pearl in there. Interesting. This is pretty. I only had one Givenchy palette, and that was from the spring release with all those soft pastel shades. But this right here, this is a great go-to glam palette. It just seems easy to use and easy to just slap on a red carpet eye in no time based off the shades and the fact that I'm just envisioning myself picking up either this smokier taupe or this lighter beige taupe and then following up with the espresso, or even going in with the caramel first and then with these shades. And interesting to see how the gold and silver will apply on the eyes. Oh boy, those look pretty. These look shiny, my heavens. And this, I think this is a loose powder, probably will skip, because although I haven't had the pleasure of trying the Givenchy Prism Libre loose powder that comes in a variety of shades, this looks to be, I think, more suitable for light complexions, which is fine. But this highlighter, I think it will be so interesting to see what highlight color you'll actually get when mixing the gold and silver like it's shown here on the swatch. That is a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. This is what's like, if I had to pick, definitely the loose highlighter, definitely the eyeshadow palette, and one of those lipsticks. I gotta try it for sure. This one here, R13, which is, I read it was supposed to be like a warm red or like a brown red, and that's right up my alley. That would be pretty on the lip, muted, easy to wear. Ooh, is this like a gift with purchase pouch depending on how much you spend? That's pretty. I could always figure out what to use with these extra pouches, man. That's like my specialty. And we've arrived at what must be one of, if not the most highly anticipated releases of the year. It is the Louis Vuitton Beauté, Le Beauté Louis Vuitton, and it is headed by our mother, Pat McGrath, as creative director. First launch, so there might be more coming. Will include 55 lipsticks. Don't know if we have different finishes within that number. Holy moly. 10 nourishing lip balms and 8 eye palettes. This looks to be a eye palette situation. We got the matte lipstick here, and the component looks killer, man. And here on the center, you have the LV logo. Oh, man. I think that might be a quad because it looks like it's mimicking the flower. If there's a special name for this within Louis Vuitton world, forgive me, I don't know what it is. Okay, fam, here it is. I'm gonna try my best to not go crazy because I know when I go in person, and who knows if I get the opportunity to buy, I just predict their lines are going to be crazy. I am planning on visiting the Louis Vuitton store in Soho. I do not want to go anywhere near the Midtown location because I know it's going to be wildly crazy. I'm planning on buying 1 palette, 2 lipsticks, and 1 balm. I know it'll be tough for me to decide 1 palette out of the 8. I'll decide if there's one in specific when I see them in person that houses more than one finish. That's interesting in color story. I have to see. I'll try not to get like the most basic one, but knowing me and my simp mentality for neutrals, that might not be happening. But it's dropping August 25th. So what day is that? Let me see here. August 25th is a Monday. So I'll be there bright and early, whatever it takes, so I could get my hands on this freaking collection, okay? Glossier, liquid highlighter, skin-loving liquid highlighter for pearlescent radiance, infused with complexion-inspired micro pearls, buildable formula. Sure, I'm not opposed to anything from Glossier. A very lightweight, one and done, barely there, but just enough, as I like to categorize this brand in terms of the aesthetic. And based on how these look super pearly and glowy. So I'll be interested to see how they actually apply on the skin. And recently, Pat released from her brand 2 new shades for the Sublime Perfection blurring under eye powder, which to this day, I think one of the best performing blurring powders in the market. I just can't stand the packaging. It's just so flimsy, and these powders are ultra delicate, and you're taking a gamble if you pack these with you in the makeup bag, because any type of rattling around, these powders will just crumble. So that's the thing. They're beautiful on the skin, super lightweight and airbrushed, but man, are they a pain to actually keep from breaking. And we have here a new product, the Sublime Perfection Long Wear Blurring Setting Spray, 16-hour dimensional blur finish. That's an interesting claim, because usually setting is just to hold your makeup in place or to give it more of like that glass finish. This spray is to give you, said to develop to give you a blurred focus, soft focus finish. I'm not totally opposed to that, but it's just something extra that I don't want to pack for the ride. You know what I mean? But I'm also curious about its performance. If it's not like a weird biphase, although that doesn't stop me because I'll shake up my Bifesta and putting in a smaller press bottle, but maybe it'll be worth looking into. Maybe they'll even develop a travel size. I don't know. Oh yes, we're getting a new sunscreen from Beauty of Joseon, and I actually have one of the, I think the first one they released. I like it, but I have to be careful with how much I apply because it could look a little white cast on me. But this seems to be more dewy finish, and it says to feel like your favorite moisturizer, leaves 0 white cast. So I'm gonna have to check it out though before I make up my mind. Okay, this face palette. So I was watching Hannah, hi Hannah, on Han's Beauty, and I didn't watch the entire thing, but what struck me was the fact that, well, first of all, some of these colors are already existing in the single pans for not only the Make Me Blush, but the highlighter. And Hannah was saying that the textures are different, like they're not as pigmented in the face palette as they are in the singles, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It could work to one's favor. I just don't know, family. I mean, I love YSL, okay? I have like 5 of their Make Me Blush singles. I have plenty of their mini clutch eyeshadow palettes. I have their bronzer. And now I have my eye on their candy glaze lipstick and their lip oil shine, whatever. So the wish list is building, right? I'm not abandoning YSL. I'm just not entirely sure about this palette because face palettes now, I don't know. They're not as appealing to me anymore, although I can recognize their role in you not having to pack if on the go or reaching for separate cheek products. Everything is there for you in one palette. I just don't know how I feel about these shades specifically because I already have Hypnotic Honey, which is in this palette. I have it as a single. I don't have, surprisingly, well, I think, is this new Lavalier? If it is, I have that single, but I don't have the Restless Rose and the Berry Bang. I'm sure are lovely, but I don't know if I want them in a palette. Does that make any sense? It might have to be one of those situations when I have to try it in person and I can make up my mind then. But for now, it's going to be on the wish list. It's going to be on my radar, but I'm not making any rash decisions yet. It's not even available here in the US, so I got time. So I thought we'll head over to Chic Profile 4's feed to see what's more going on in the luxury beauty realm. This looks to be Holiday 2025 for YSL 025 Golden Lust, new unlimited edition. Unlimited. Is it limited or limited? It looks quite soft, but that is an interesting like pink duochrome reflect got going on there. Might be a little too soft for me, but you know, if I ever have the opportunity to swatch it in person, sure. And Tavia has, I say Tavia, I'm not sure if it's Tavia or Tavia. My apologies in advance. We have more photos here of the actual YSL face palette that I just discussed over from Trendmood's feed. And also what I saw from Han Beauty's channel. Again, it's not like latching on. I'm not completely enchanted by this face palette. You know what it is? Because I have my Dior palette, Nude Mitza, I think that, or it's just Mitza. The longer one with the leopard print on there and the Christian Dior on the front in the font. That has like a similar vibe. It's not a dedicated face palette like this YSL one is, but the shades are similar and ones that I can get away with using, because it is an eyeshadow palette, but I could certainly get away with using them as blush. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. And I'm waiting for these shades to release. Chili Crush number 15. Oh, but you see, here's the thing. I feel like I would wear that color now, but will I want to wear that during autumn and winter? That's the thing. That's what's holding me back. Because the red shade that I have for my NARS Multiple Sinful, which even though I say it's a terracotta, is actually not. NARS labels it to be a brick red, but is actually more vibrant in a brick red. It's more vibrant than how it appears in photos, and I wish it was a little earthier. Because I have Sinful, don't know if I would need Chili Crush, because I feel it would deliver a similar vibe, just like that red tone, which is beautiful, but don't know if I need another color even in another formula. Okay, the Tom Ford drop with the new Architecture Radiance Hydrating Foundation apparently is reformulated. I'm not an expert of Tom Ford, although I did film a Tom Ford video years ago when there was like a crazy sale running and people were just buying Tom Ford off the shelves. I don't have the stick foundation anymore, nor have I ever tried the original Architecture Radiance Hydrating Foundation, so I wouldn't have anything to compare it to. I don't have a reference, but I'm still willing to try it. I could always grab a sample of it and see how it performs. And I also think there were lip glosses that released that look just wonderfully beautiful. I mean, the colors are right up my alley, so probably in trouble. And here is another look at our beloved Byredo. I cannot wait, and we're all trying to figure out when is this freaking palette gonna arrive. And you can see, if you took out the burgundies and the reds, this is basically what's happening in the Givenchy palette. You got the silver and the gold. You might not have a warm of caramel brown as you have in the Givenchy, but you got the taupes. You have these espresso browns. You don't have the black sparkly shade, but like, this is an either or situation for sure. And if you're not into bigger palettes, then maybe the Givenchy would be a better choice. I'm gonna get both. It's for the YouTube, okay? I gotta compare. I gotta compare the color stories. I want to compare the textures. We gotta, you know, it's for science, okay? All right, family. We are now moving on to the clothes portion, and if you don't know and haven't seen already, I recently uploaded a closet faves video where I featured Pistola, who Jewel on here, a subscriber and fellow denim maven of mine, suggested or recommended. So once I checked it out, it was a wrap. I purchased 2 pairs from the Nordstrom anniversary sale, but I also visited the website itself, and look at this shacket. The Mandy oversized shacket in the Paloma color wash. It is like my dream boxy overshirt that's denim. And the reason why they call it a shacket is because based off what you see here, it has a little more body and structure to just a regular denim shirt, which is what I'm looking for. I need that little bit of heaviness and just girth, and it not just fall on the frame, but to have a little bit of structure to it. I absolutely love the wash of this, and I am looking closely if this ever goes on sale, because $198 is expensive, okay? And I'm waiting for it if hopefully before my size runs out. I will get a size small. I don't know if I will get an extra small, even though based off the fact that I bought a Pistola shirt dress from Bloomingdale's that looks quite large on me. But I don't know if I want the extra small, because in this shacket, I would rather it be larger than smaller or a little bit of snug. So that's why I'm holding on to the small. But here's the thing, family. We have this shacket on sale. 65% off, okay? But this is a darker wash, but it's more cropped. It's not as long as the Mandy, right? You see here, but I don't mind. I think it's kind of cute. That's why I'm like, oh, should I get it? Should I get it and kind of dip my toes in Pistola Shacket territory before I commit to the Paloma? Ooh, relaxed jacket designed for an oversized fit, colored neckline, bottom up front closure, and front flat pockets. Crafted from rigid, lightweight denim without stretch for an expert fit that holds its shape. Oh my gosh. 100% cotton. Model is wearing a small. Friends, let me know if I should get this. I'm putting it in the basket, add to cart. You see I have other stuff in here because I was actually looking at these jeans. I thought this was an interesting style. You see how there's no like thick waist. How do they describe it? Streamlined look, the absence of a waistband. Okay, so I don't know how this will look on me. It looks great on the model. And I also love the shape, the barrel leg shape, but these seams I just think enhance the overall look. I think it's so unique. And as Jenna, who just was fabulous in providing this comment in my other fashion video, closet video, how she was explaining the darts on the jeans is called an articulated knee stitch and usually found in rock climbing pants to allow for more range of motion around the knee joint. And she thought it was super cool to actually have that design feature on jeans where it's not actually usually found on. So that's why I think Pistola is doing some interesting things with denim that I don't see from other brands, and why I want to venture more into it. The thing is, I would love to try these in person, so I'll have to find out if Nordstrom carries this specific style, because I am a 27 in the ones that I have, but I don't know if I'll be a 27 or 26 in the Blair high rise. You know what I'm saying? And you also have the lighter color wash. Oh, the lighter color wash is fire. That actually looks like, this wash is called Pristine. The wash for the shacket is called Paloma. So I don't think they're the same. And I wouldn't get white because we're heading the end of the season. Not that I follow close to the rule of don't wear white after Labor Day, but definitely either Soho or Pristine. But I'm looking at the Soho wash. It's pretty. I will probably would just change my mind, but I don't think they're pockets. See, that's the thing. That might be a problem. I'm just realizing I don't think they're pockets. Would I be able to okay, here. No, there are no pockets. Ooh, that might be a deal breaker. Ooh, that might be we'll see. You know what I'm saying? What else do I have in my basket here? Oh, yes. This is okay. Final sale, 50% off the Sadie Classic Workwear shirt in repeat. I think this is cute too. See, this is even more cropped, I think. Is it? Well, maybe it's the same length as the darker wash shirt. Oh, and this looks to be like a clear blue, like a light clear blue. It's lovely. I'm just trying to figure out what I would wear this with. I'm thinking obviously something high rise, which denim on denim is a little tricky. Like, if it's not the same wash, is that a fashion faux pas? Are people doing that anyway? I'm not entirely sure, but I just love the length. And I also love how it looks in terms of how the fabric falls on the model's body. There's a little bit of slack to it, but a little structure as well. Let's see here. Doesn't mention anything. Just right length. Works perfectly tucked or untucked. Light wash. 100% cotton. Wearing a 26. That's not here. Is this a small or a medium, Pistola? Come on. I think I'm going to still get the small. And it's available still. Oh, am I going to regret? Should I get this or the dark wash? What do you think? The dark wash is like a medium length. Let me know down below, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? These Crocs that I showed in my what I got from Sephora video right at the beginning, this beige, the stucco shade, flying off the shelves. I managed to grab a 6 this morning because it restocked overnight, received an alert this morning, and just grabbed it, and now it's gone. It's gone. Although it doesn't seem as dire as I'm making it out to be, because I think they actually have this size in store at the 34th Street location, at the Soho location. So we're fine. We're fine. But my goodness, these are going to go. They're going to go. You know why? Because they don't have the holes. These are sealed. And you know what that means? A warmer Croc. And I found that out the hard way. Because I wanted to take mine out for a spin. So I have the pink caramel ones. And I was with Maddie at the time for her bedtime stroll. And it wasn't deathly hot because it was the evening time. But I just wore them without socks. And as I was walking, I was like, my feet are getting pretty warm. And I realized looking down on them, they don't have the holes. So these might be a better choice for the autumn season, right? When we're starting to wear the clogs with socks. Okay, I have my Birkenstock Boston clogs on standby with and without shearling. But these, and I almost bought the olive ones too, what they call aloe. These look a little, well, I think it's true to color when you see them in person. They're not as muted as you might think. They actually look like a dead on. I say olive, but they call it aloe, whatever. Is a pretty rich green. And then they have these in the black sand, which, not gonna lie, I could do something with that color too. Am I about to buy all 4 of these? Listen, they were also running a special at the time. Buy one pair, get 50% off the next. If they ever run that again, I might have to get more pairs. And look what we have. The reinstallment of the Demon Slayer collab that launched, I think, 2 years ago. I have the Zenitsu ones, I have the Tanjiro ones, but I need the Shinobu ones. These didn't release on the first rollout. The Shinobu ones look sick. It's easy because her pattern is so iconic that you just have to put it on there. And I think that's the thing with Demon Slayer in general, why it is one of the more successful collabs to put into motion, because the characters have like their distinct patterns on their, what is it called? Their haori, I think is called. So they each have their distinct pattern on the haori, and you could just put that on the clog. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about getting the Nezuko ones too. I think the Nezuko ones are so fun because you have the bamboo mouthpiece here on the arch, and you have her checkered sash and her haori pattern here for the pink. These are gonna fly off the shelves. So I already put an alarm for myself. I thought I saw a Tomioka pair on the internet. I don't know if those are gonna appear. I kind of want the Inosuke ones too. These release on the first rollout too. The fur on the arch, I think, is killer. I love the design. This was one of the best collabs I think CROCS has ever done, which the Pokemon one was disappointing AF, and not even a Pokemon fan like that, but they didn't even do Pikachu. If you're gonna do a Pokemon collab, you have to do one of, if not the most iconic character out of the entire freaking anime. And lastly, we gotta visit Mooncat. So my basket refreshed. Now I gotta fill it up again from their recently released Welcome to Paradise collection, where it features this newer magnetic formula that hits different. Okay, it looks like a gel nail polish. The reflectivity levels are off the charts for these. I don't know what Michelle and her team did, but it is insane. So add to cart. 404 sold not found. Epilogue to Utopia. Look at this. So I think she might actually, the brand might have these magnetic polishes in their collection at some point, but they're like elevated. They are super reflective. Add to cart. The flakies I'm not as crazy about. I think flaky nail polishes look better on longer nails, and right now I actually have Mooncat on now from their Inner Apocalypse collection, that one of their best. I believe it's like, I forgot what it's called. I could put it down in the description box. Although this is pretty and it can look pretty on short nails, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. And it's a me problem. It's not that the nail polish isn't pretty. It's a me problem. I'm looking at this and initially thought it's pretty, but my gosh, it is so shiny. It's so shiny. I don't know. Add to cart just in case. And then we have this thermal. The thermals are so much fun because when they are exposed to varying temperatures, they'll change color. And I love the color from what is like a cerulean to like a teal, like a dark teal. It's so pretty. Blue nail polish is tricky because it can look super casual, but I think this tone is beautifully appropriate for the autumn time. I think it'll look just gorgeous for autumn. So add to cart. And yeah, absolutely, 100%. This is crazy. Look at that. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at how much is going on. Add to cart. I might get Mutiny. There's another nail polish. I think it's called like Systems Down or something. I forgot from what collection it is from, but I love green nail polish. I do. I think this, I'm going to think about it because I rather have like the violets and the blues. But this, I mean, listen, I understand completely why. I mean, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. How did she manage to achieve such a 3D effect, but with regular nail polish? This is not gel. This is not under UV light. This is regular nail polish. And I know it's because of how it's being shot with the lighting. I get it. It's on purpose so we could get the full effect. But the full effect is affecting me and just seducing me off the charts. Okay? Yes, maybe. Not my first choice, but it's pretty. I have a similar nail polish. I think it was from, although it doesn't look this hollow though. It doesn't look as hollow. This is a fun holiday polish. Like an all silver nail situation is pretty, and the holographic effect is wild. It's wild, but isn't that interesting? Under like a more like a cloudy light, you'll just get the silver, but under the hard light, you're gonna get that holographic finish. And this is absolutely beautiful, but not my preference. I think those who love blue nail polish will obviously love this. Well, this is maybe more like a violet, a blue purple metallic holographic lacquer. So yeah, is violetish, blue purple. It's pretty. I don't know how it would be in action, but the other ones I have more of my eye on. And that is it, everyone. Thank you for coming shopping with me, and I would love to know what you think down below, what you're looking to grab as the holiday season approaches, and all bunch of different events, sale events, not only on Sephora, which I think they'll have their November sale event coming up, but on the individual brand sites. I know I want more Armani items, so I'm going to take a look at if they'll run a Black Friday event end of year. Also VBB, I'm anticipating that the brand will hold something similar. So let's start building the list now and just kind of have a better handle of what we're going to grab in the next few weeks. So can't wait to share it down below and see what you have on your mind in the comments. And if you made it this far, consider liking this video by clicking the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm immensely in recommending more videos for you to watch and for other beauty enthusiasts as well, like yourself. And consider subscribing because more Shop With Me videos to come, especially when it's about to get crazy on here, okay? And if it's your first time on my channel, thank you for taking the time. Maybe I'll see you on this video here. Definitely will see you in the comments for this one. And on here again next time.